Welcome everybody to class 3 of 8. Really appreciate you guys showing up and showing support and having great dialogue. I'm not sure if anybody got a chance to watch the second class. When I go back and edit it, I throw images in there to try to help out with the class. So I really appreciate our discussion and the questions because it helps clarify some other things. Appreciate everybody's input last meeting. So today's meeting, we're going to talk about introduction to the wandering stars and fixed stars, meet the wandering stars, how to narrate a chart using phrases. And then we're going to go into portions of luminaries and zodiac in detail. And then if we have time again, a check sheet to prove to yourself. Now remember, I'm only scratching the surface on these because there's people here that are also beginners. So I can't delve too deep. I can, but I choose not to because we're just going to touch on them. And then in further classes down the road, we're going to have different when we get more into the meat of it. All right, and more detail. So I'm just doing a broad brush overall so people get understanding of how astrology works and what it is. And that's why we're always keeping the metaphysical side of it, because it has to be. We're tethered to love, to metaphysics. This physical body is tied to the metaphysical. So introduction to the wandering and fixed stars. So the wandering, we briefly mentioned the wandering stars above earlier class. There are many Babel words for them, like planets, asteroids, moons. They call Eris a dwarf planet. Okay, you only need to know the truth. They are luminaries. They're lights, energy, whom illuminate your existence. We will call every light a luminary. All right, you might hear us call them planets, whatever, but they're all lights. They are your animators. Remember, anima equals soul. I have this little video here by brother Konstantinos. I'm going to show you what he filmed of a star. There's great debate on saying, well, that's not in focus, but focusing the light will turn it to white. Of course it will. Even if it is slightly out of focus, watch the colors. Can you guys, are you seeing it? Okay, good. Look at the beautiful colors when you zoom in on a star. I mean, you can see it when you kind of stand still and look, especially Sirius and other the brighter ones. That's what's animating us. That's what's making everything around us show up. All the wandering stars, this is a fixed star. We're not going to be getting into fixed stars today, but I wanted to show you the beautiful color that comes down to us, that's animating us, animating the people around you. And I'm not trying to make it sound like a movie, but it has the memory of the waters. This is who we are. We're spirit. We're from this light. Let there be light is in the first thing, and then they don't want to talk about light. No, you got to talk about light. That's who animates us. So it's an absolute beautiful thing. The sun, if you put it through a prism, you're going to see the 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 chakras. Hence why we're going through the 7 chakras, the 7 cleanses, the 7 scorpions of Isis, cleansing our organs. So these lights are getting brighter. They're getting brighter and more pure, so we become more pure, hence the cleanse. It's time to come home. We're being reeled in. So this is your experience, your self-deliverance of karma, both good and not good. This is the goddess power of manifestation that you have been blessed with. How well did we do in the least amount of love of the Piscean age? Not so loving, eh? Look what we have around us. That's by design. That's 100% by design for an experience. Now we have an opportunity to see the magic at play, the beautiful magic that every luminary helps you attain one love, aka transcendence, aka Arahant, Brahman, Buddha, Christ conscious. So please read the words in the image to the right. This is truth. This is the magic. And this is in the book. It's not that love will steer the stars. It's up to you to steer the quality of light that illuminates you to love. You are the animator, goddess. So your whole world is able to change like that with the speed of light just by being loving. And we're going to show you the magic. That this is the time now where we must all come together and see this magic. We can't do it alone, though. We can't. I didn't do it alone. I had all the people to help me, like Santos Bonacci. All these great people that he learned from. they're passing the baton till we make it up to this point in Age of Aquarius where we can have enlightenment, where the veil is lifted on who we are as spirit and who we are as light beings. It's a beautiful thing. So back to the luminaries, i.e. wandering stars and fixed stars. We will only concentrate on wandering stars, which again is the luminaries that move amongst the fixed stars, aka constellations. By this it is meant the Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, Ceres, Hygeia, Eris, Juno, etc. move amongst the zodiac, the fixed stars, which we showed you last class. Any questions so far? Pretty straightforward. Anyone? So meet the wandering stars. These luminaries are the wandering stars or lights that move amongst the fixed stars. Just as the zodiac signs, you can use the images and words to create sentences. So we're going to make this as simple as possible. We will show examples on how easy this is. It is pretty self-explanatory, and you do not have to memorize, as they are always here for your reference. That's why the book's there. Surely you know more people's names, looks, and personalities than this handful. How many people do you know? Do you know more than this handful? Of course you do. Do you know their personalities? Yes, you do. All you got to do is get to know their personalities. And that green little couple words there is the major portion that you need to know of what they are and who they do and what they deliver. Got a lot of guidance by every one of these in the middle of the night. The black moon, every day now, the grackle comes and lands on our mirror when the black moon is exactly overhead, aligned with the MC. This is the type of guidance that you can expect if you haven't already getting it. It's going to become more than just seeing numbers. The animals and insects and people and everything around you is just going to start making sense. It's always been guidance. We just didn't have our guidance machine tool working, but it is now. It's starting. So just get to know them. They are your vibrations, the connection to your anima, soul. They are you. They're not these images. They are you. They're the qualities of you. And when these energies come your way, this is what they do. They cleanse or they amplify in the good way. They will help you become Arahant. You really have no choice, Infinite One, because you are infinite. And it's a beautiful thing that we got no choice because we're being called home. Any questions? So far, so clear? It's just a bunch of personalities of people you need to know, but they're you. Okay, so we know about Roy. We went over him a little bit, but we're going to talk a little bit more about Roy. How to narrate a chart using phrases. Meet Roy. Roy was a park ranger in Shenandoah National Park in Virginia. Hope I'm saying that right. Between 1942 and 1977. Roy was hit by lightning on 7 occasions and he survived all of them. For this reason, he gained the nickname Human Lightning Conductor and Human Lightning Rod. If you want to understand the quality of light being shone down upon you, upon us, you start with anomalies like Roy's situation. Let's have a close look at Roy's chart. So as discussed before, he had both Neptune and Ceres, both in retrograde, inward lessons. Okay. Neptune is energy. Ceres is harvest. And it's in Gemini and the 5th house. But we can't really use the house. We don't know his time of birth. Really important. You can't use the house for the time of birth, because that would be Leo, the heart. Knowing the vibrations of the luminaries is quick to notice the alignment of Ceres and Neptune in Gemini. Neptune is energy, Ceres is harvest. Gemini is twin pillars, the legs and the limbs. House, unknown time of birth. Note, both Ceres and Neptune have a line underneath indicating retrograde, which is an inward lesson in timeouts. Putting the qualities together, Roy has inward lessons concerning high energy, harvesting, near death, and twinning the pillars, becoming once more. You'll come to learn that Gemini is the home of the domain of Horus, between Gemini and Cancer. The winter solstice, the birth of the new sun, the new you, another round on the wheel. We'll not get into the reasons why, but the rest of the chart would provide clues. So he's got other clues in his chart, which we're not going to get into. Gemini, as you know, we touched on it briefly, is an air sign. We just touched on it overall. We didn't get into it, so we will in another corner. Neptune loves air signs because that's etheric, like Aquarius. So does not all lightning go through the air? Yes. Does not lightning hit the limbs of the trees? Is not Gemini legs and limbs? Yes. Are we not called walking trees once in a while? Yes. So this is the way you got to look at charts. This is very general, brief. Again, I can go into more detail, but I won't right now. But this is how easy it becomes. When you start realizing who we are, our anatomy, and how it behaves, that's what the Zodiac tells us. Any questions on this portion? Awesome. So again, Gemini. Which ones were in Gemini? We used the green, twin pillars, energy, harvest, right? And we took it a little bit deeper and showed you an air sign because we talked about it last week. I threw it in for today. And if you notice also, because things are harmonics, I learned this from Santos, but except Santos has got them switching every sign, which wouldn't make any sense because then when you're 30, 60, 90, 120, 150 degrees apart, they wouldn't hit the right notes. So the subharmonics that we're going to talk about is 12 within the 12. This is your harmonics of music. In a musical scale, you got 12 chromatic notes, and they go down 12 at a time. The chromo wheel that they share, they stagger. Aries starts with Aries, Taurus starts with Taurus, Gemini starts with Gemini. To me, it's another grasp at trying to make things fit. This works when you put and go around and see a whole bunch of Geminis where all the planets are, and people say, but I'm not a Gemini. I says, yeah, but look at all these subharmonics in Gemini. No, but I thought I was a Gemini. Well, you are. Just because your sun's not in Gemini and you've got all these other ones that are subharmonic of Gemini, it means you're going to be Gemini. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into this. But anyway, just like music, whoever takes music, this is just 12, and then there's 12 within a 12. And then, I mean, in reality, we could go 12 within this 12. I don't know if that NASA's data is that precise to want to do that, if the ephemeris is. Okay. That was it. You just grab what luminaries are there, what signs are there, piece those words together, make a sentence. When you start doing that on different ones, you'll know the vibration, you'll know which one fits. And we're going to get into a lot of examples using medical astrology and other things. So this is just as easy as describing a friend, piecing together their qualities, right? Like I can say my brother's kind-hearted, hard worker, man, he'll do anything for you. My brother's here. Same thing. That's what these luminaries are. You're just describing a friend, but that friend, that energy is you, and it's in your chart. So another quick example of just randomly picking two luminaries when we created the book. Vesta, the Vestal Virgins. Lilith, retrograde, temptations. Vesta means Vestal Virgins. She wants you to be a nun. Lilith is temptations, and she's in retrograde. They're in Scorpio. So I'll just pull it over here. Okay, so this would be the image. There is Lilith with Vesta in the first house and Scorpio. First house just means Aries. Remember, first house is in the Phoenix rising position. Aries is the first house. Taurus is the second house. So you don't have to learn another 12. The houses are the same. They're exact same vibrations as the Zodiac. First house is Aries and in Scorpio. Vesta and Lilith. So Scorpio is manifestations, procreation, sexuality, birthing exercises. House 1 is Aries, your head, your conscious mind. So how you would read this in a chart is just taking those green words, piecing it together. An inward lesson, time out with regards to temptations. The conscious mind and procreation to become pure of heart like a nun. That's the way you piece it together. So this person, if they didn't do good from the beginning and had good guidance, then they'll still get tested. Now, I have an example of this where tropical would not work, because I know somebody that has this very prominent in Scorpio, Lilith in Scorpio. He knows those temptations and he's got to stop. While he's trying to stop, he's getting tested. He's getting women coming out of the woodwork, and he gets their birth date, and then he shares it with me with their permission. They all have Lilith in Scorpio, and they want him, and they're tempting him. If you switch that over, it wouldn't be in tropical. And that's today, that's now, it's not deeply rooted. So we're going to go over many, many examples of this where it works with one and sometimes work with another, because it's 7 out of 30% chance that it's in both sidereal and. But if you go to the subharmonics, then it's game over. Know that these vibrations have amplitude. I already touched on it. Let us say that this person had learned early that procreation should only be done with divine intention, and that their conscious mind is not allowing temptations in and is focused on being pure. This is the way to dampen the amplitude of the wave of these qualities. If the person has not learned, then there will be karmic attachments. So all not good karmic attachments become strengths when the lessons are learned and seeds are planted. Teach others. And his strengths are changing big time. His guidance, everything. His guidance system is coming intact now. It's a beautiful thing. Remember, this is Lilith. Okay.
We lost you for a few moments there.
Okay.
Lilith made you stop.
She's here, eh? Awesome. In Astral Gold, they don't have Lilith. They only have Black Moon. So you can't use it there. Lilith in Time Nomad is correct. Lilith, so some people aren't using Lilith. Some people aren't using Vesta. You can see it's plain as day. And right now, who's controlling the chart? Black Moon, Ceres, Hygeia. Lilith is in there too, right? All good karmic attachment becomes strengths when the lessons are learned and seeds are planted, and teach others. So when you learn this, if this is in your chart and it's temptations, then we must go and tell somebody, do something, plant some kind of seed to say, I get it. That's the standing on the rooftop and telling people about what you learned. That gives you ultimate strength. That dampens the amplitude. The temptations will get less. You've learned your lesson. If you've learned that on early, it won't show up in a chart. It's a beautiful thing. The bump will be there, though. The bumps are always there. We'll have more examples in the later sections and including exercises to learn. Keep the focus. Keep the focus. This is all about your personal Phoenix rising and the magic to show you how to get the most out of this experience. So we're all going through a personal Phoenix rising. What that means is the enlightenment part, the revelation, the getting to know who you are and who this beautiful world is and this experience that we're learning. Any questions? So now we're going to go to the luminaries and zodiac in detail. Let's get to your qualities, because these are your qualities, nobody else's. The next few pages will give you more descriptive qualities of each luminary and zodiac constellation. The unique, proper way to show the luminaries is starting with the two Marys. If you look at on the Egyptian walls, when Horus is lying out there with the two Marys, which we misinterpret as Jesus with the two Marys, it's that Christ conscious person. We will stick to the narrative that all cultures know. Note that we will carry the names used by Time Nomad Astrology app and echo with other pertinent names. Like Eris, that's Isis, that's Mother Mary. You've seen this before, but it's really important because this is what's going to bring us all back together. We have one common thread amongst every person around the world. In religions, they all come together because we all have the same mother of all mothers. It's important. In Egypt, Isis is Mother Mary. And then, of course, in all those different cultures, they have the different names. So this is the mother of all mothers, the pure one, the Virgin Mary. She is pure aether, pure love. If you go and see the story of Isis and how she goes away into the underworld and then comes back, so she goes away for quite a while. You can't see her, but she comes back in the physical form because you can start seeing her with a telescope. That means she's coming more physical, coming home to round us up, energy-wise, the goddess and goddesses. She is always with you, but leaves to experience what it is like to be without pure love. She always comes back to bring you home to one love. She is the Holy Grail that everyone was looking for. As a god, goddess, you have to become aware during your journey here. She checks in every 558 years. Are you ready to come home? What I mean by that is come to pure love. She will appear as a winged woman in the clouds with the exact luminary behind. That happened to me. Clouds in the shape of a winged woman. It looked like the one that says Eris in that image I just showed you. That was the shape. Went and grabbed my app, pulled it up in the air, and there was Eris behind that cloud. As in metaphysics equals physics, the aether, that love, is the all that tethers with your manifests of visible light, the masculine, the illumination of your physical. So what does that mean? We're tethered to pure love, and it can't be any other way, just like in physics. So when we're in manifest and we're showing light, we're being illuminated, we are less than pure, but we can be as pure as possible while we're here. And that's the test. That's the weighing of the heart ceremony. And the other one is Juno, the other Mary, Mary Magdalene, Nephthys, Isis and Nephthys in Egypt. Juno, Nephthys, Mary Magdalene, Queen of the Heavens, Queen of the Day. She watches over us while Eris is away. She's the earthen mother. So the one, Mary, she wants to make sure we're pure. This one here is a little more lenient. Lets the rains out, but she's still there giving us signs. Juno's the peacock, the one that can show her true colors and beautiful power instantly. She will present to you in a divine feminine situations, partnerships. She also is behind the winged woman in the sky. Twice, winged woman in the sky, Juno was there. One time when I was in Aruba and I was having pain across my back and my kidneys, and I was trying to research it, I went to go to bed, and there was that winged woman. I grabbed my app, and there's Juno. I added Juno and studied Juno, and then I used that to find out, which we'll get into later, what my medical astrology was behind it and what Juno provides. It's beautiful guidance. So Juno is at home in Taurus. Obviously, Isis, Eris, is at home in Virgo, which is displayed on the Dendera Zodiac. So she will also appear as a winged woman. We just talked about that with the exact luminary behind. She expects you to save your son's son, just as Eris comes back to save you. We're always supposed to be loving and helping. And that son doesn't mean just your siblings. It means your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, and everyone around you, everything, every being around you. So her medical astrology influence is points of cleanses, eruptions, skin, shingles. We're going to get into examples because mine ended up being shingles, and that guidance proved it. And then I'd done a whole bunch more. So she's there with Hygeia, the goddess of cleanses, the sun, and sometimes it can be the north or the south node. Forward, back, retrograde. There, and then when those three lines go across like that, you get the different symptoms of it. Bang, bang, bang. And depending how deep she goes, depends on the severity of your shingles. So I've done people that didn't have it very severe, and you can see it in the chart. It's not there. It's not full-fledged. Everybody's got varying degrees. Their charts are different. So again, this section will introduce you to the Zodiac and Luminaries that play a special part of your journey. You will in time get to know each one of them. Take your time. You are learning how to read your clock, your life, your journey. Be not only aware how these are part of your birth chart, but also as each luminary visits your 12 houses and continue the dialogue left at birth. That's the transits, the ones that are moving around. So your natal stationary, and then the transits as they go along, those are people, those personalities that visit each one of those houses that have meaning. What you'll be reading in the next couple of pages are experiences attained learning from others, research, and most importantly, communication through epiphanies, apparitions, numerology, and being awakened up during sleep. So Consensus in here, Santos works in here, Ptolemy's works in here, a whole bunch of great people. It's all together, bits and pieces, all put together, then going by experience. Everyone will have slightly different experiences. You have your own DNA or chart you must become familiar with, either through your personal experiences of your senses and or using astrology. They are 100% in alignment. Again, you don't need astrology. Just listen to what people say to you every day. I'm having people call me up and they're just getting sign after sign after sign after sign. And they know. So the more you vibe with the luminaries, the more they will interact with you, i.e. tuning in. This is the collective consciousness, the one love, the absolute love of the mother. Questions? Marian?
When you say the more you vibe with the luminary, do you mean the more you are aware of what's taking place as above, from above, the more knowledge you have, the more awareness? Exactly.
Just by the pure fact that you're watching astrology, whether not about that this is right or not right, it's not about that. Just the pure fact that you want to jump in, you're already vibing with the luminaries. Now it's like your inner child, your inner self is getting excited. So yeah, the more you learn, understand, and when you see, and then you go look at your chart just for fun, and you say, oh wow, that has to do with this. What can I do? Ask for guidance. Speak to the light.
You know, in other words, Claudio, everything that's going on is a story that is written as we're going along, so to speak, and affected as we're going along. But it's all pre-written, but being changed at the same time. It's like a
yes.
Is that
yes? There's millions of paths, right? It's a labyrinth.
Yeah, right.
Bumps will always be there. The more you fix that with pure love, then the bumps eventually will just go away. They may be there as reminders. So you're right. Your head's in the right spot.
In terms of the pure love attitude, would that be more as it? Because I think that is what not confuses, but for some people, that word has so many different, meanings. For me now, what I'm feeling about what you're talking about and what that means is that pure love in this instance would mean to me that you're open to it, that you accept it, that
yes.
you are accepting of this guidance, right?
Yes.
That you're allowing it. Is that
yes.
what you mean by having the pure, the openness?
And let's go through an example. What if a dog comes every day and poops on your patio? And every day it keeps pooping on your patio.
Yeah.
Do we love him? That's a sign.
It's definitely a sign.
That duck is in your vision. And if you have to have love. If you treat them love, feed them a little bit, feed them, oh, they're going to keep coming back. The point is, it's how you handle everything that comes into our being, because it's there for you. That dog wasn't there for anybody else. Oh, he's just hungry. No, 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 no. Today, Kathy and I were getting to a conversation. The crane came. I go, oh my God, what timing. So I started making the sounds of him. I wanted to go out and see him. He took off. But he always comes to eat, but that time he didn't. He said, no, no, no. I'm only here to give you a sign.
Since you used the example of shitting, the Burmese, where I'm from, my mother was half Burmese. They say if you have a dream or you see animals pooping or anyone pooping or you dream about it, it means that you're going to come into money. That's what they always say. Just
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it's a good example. Everybody's going to get rich now.
Everyone's going to get rich.
All right.
Thanks.
Oh, anybody else? Sorry, anybody else? It becomes really simple. Everything is meant for you in your vision. Everything. Marian's looking at all these people. They're all there for her. I'm looking at all these people. They're all here for me. Everything that everybody says, I have to accept. I have to accept. When Martin says, we got to get into this, we got to get into this, I am accepting, and I will, and I do, because I know there's something there. He's here for a reason. It was just a timing thing right now. I just wanted to start the class. I know you understand that. But yes, there's something there. I know there is. That Celestine Prophecy on our website, if you haven't listened to the audiobook or read the book, if you go iyoutome.com/CP, the complete audio there in sections. That's what's happening now. Eliminate the drama out of that book. That's happening right now to us. We're all meeting and we're giving each other guidance, which was always there. We just got to realize it now more than ever, that it's all guidance.
It's been a long time since I've read that book, Claudio, but I do have it upstairs. So are you kind of recommending maybe go over it again?
Oh, yeah. Again? Oh, you're going to get goosebumps, brother.
Yeah, it's a number of years. I'm going to say probably 12, maybe 13 years ago I read the Celestine Prophecy, but I do have it in my collection. So I might
made a movie. They made a movie, you know, of
yes. It. Saw the movie, but like everything else, they didn't fit it all in.
Yeah, no. I saw the movie as well. I imagine the audiobook and the book would be far better.
Yeah, so I got it on my website, iyoutome.com/CP. And I put it in all the chapters, each different audio, so you can listen. I think it's 14 hours total or something like that. I can't remember. I probably should listen to it again myself. It's been a couple of years. So we're going to continue. The next two are purposely selected together as they sit on the west side of the zodiac, as can be seen here. The autumn equinox, harvest time, the cusp of Libra, weighing of the heart, before the meeting with Mama, Eris, and Virgo, purity. See the unique placement on the cross, on the Dendera zodiac. Note also the star spiker representing you at harvest time. We've touched on this before, but we'll go over it again. So this is the right side of the zodiac when we're looking in the view south. And trust me, Benjamin, I keep thinking about what you said. And I know it's true. You can see Ceres with her scythe, harvester. That's at fall. We pick our crop. The farmers pick their crops in the fall, right? Everything goes through this. Every atom, every being, every season, all this happens. This to me is tropical. This is the seasons, the fixed houses. Mercury is there, the Akashic record keeper, the one that knows and orchestrates the memory in all the waters, the Akashic record, your good and not good karma. He's there with the harvester before we get selected for harvest or not. So there's two types of harvest. One we go to light and one we come back and try again. But we're infinite. And then there's Spica. So Spica is you, the grain of wheat, ready to be harvested. That sits right on, Spica sits right on the Virgo, Libra cusp before we go into the underworld, before you go to sleep at night, before you harvest in the fall. And then it goes on to the great year and on and on and on. It's one great big clock within a clock, the Russian dolls, right? So if you see here, this is called different things it's called. Some say it's Virgo, some say it's the infant prince, but that's you being talked to with the mother after the weighing of the heart ceremony. Let's talk goddess, God in training. How did you do? So this is what the Dendera Zodiac does for us. It's an absolute beautiful chronology of the life of Horus, you, ours. So that's representative house 7 and house 6. House 7 is Libra, house 6 is Virgo. You don't have to learn anything different about houses, only that they're stationary. And when you go look at a chart, that vibration sits there. I found that there's deeper, especially for me, with my legs being numb for all these years and going numb. I found that aspect. And you know who it's with? The mother of all mothers. And it goes away in 2023, I hope. I'm following it. It's there. But that's because it's in the 3rd house, Gemini, my legs and limbs, deep rooted. Whether it's this life, past lives, that's what the house system brings into this. More to learn there, even for me, but I know we're on the right track. So just going over this, we did touch on it, but I'll say it. So this is what's in the book. You can just remember Akashic records, the memory of all your actions. That's why it's the scribe. And the scribe is the ibis, Mercury, Thoth. Mercury, the ibis, the scribe, the hologram, the memory in water, Akashic record, all of your actions which illuminate you. Plant seeds so they will grow and be recorded. So you can skip grades, rungs on the ladder. You are your own animator. So every deed you do is remembered by the waters, rightfully so. It's a perfect system. So you have a reference to go back to. There may be books that are better than this. I don't know. I couldn't find them. You won't find many that touch on Dendera Zodiac, and that's why I'm excited to I tried looking for those books already, Martin, but I'm going to keep going. Anyway, that's
Which
Mercury.
The
Burgoyne. I'm sorry?
Which books are those?
The Burgoyne books.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'll place them in the chat.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. So Ceres, that's why the word cereal comes from Ceres. She's called the goddess of harvest, the goddess of grain. But you now know that she sits right there at the weighing of the heart in Libra, at the cusp of going into Virgo, the way the stars rotate. Ceres is very apparent in medical astrology where one gets harvested. When people exit and come and try again, Ceres is there. But it's a good thing. We're infinite. And no, you can't go to look to see when you're going to go because it all depends on your amplitudes. It really does. We don't know a person's life. You can't go say, that guy is gone in freaking 3 weeks. No, you can't because you don't know. So remember, only you make the pitfalls and ladders. Watch for Saturn. When Saturn's there with Ceres, you'll see people that are not doing well with their thoughts. That's important. The reason why that's important, and I've shared this with people who actually are on hotlines, and he has the option now to pick whether or not he wants to tell them, it's in your chart. It's not you. Nobody's trying to do anything to you. It's just in your chart. It's a bump. It's a wave. It'll go away. We just got some work to do. So Sarah's with Saturn. If you're going to make a note, that would be a good one. We'll talk about it more anyway. That's the Dendera with the cross, which I think you guys seen. And you can see this is the right-hand side, the west, and the east where the Phoenix rising is. South and the north. Questions? All right. Anybody got any questions? All right, that was easy. We made it through really quick. There's more of the luminary examples. I don't want to go through very many of them. I just want to try to do a couple a week. And as we start doing, I'll start going more and more into examples, how to read a chart, because you have the tools now, examples, but we'll go through many more of how we're going to go through those, just using that sentence structure. So I'd like for us to go through these. We'll pick some volunteers. I think Martin already did this one in class 1. Grab an app, sidereal Lahiri 12 equal houses, ensure you have the luminary areas displayed. Set the location to Queenstown, New Zealand, and use the date April 15th, 2023 at 7:25 a.m. local time. Notice what you see. The sun, Eris in the north node at 0 Aries. This is a Phoenix rising. It's happening every 558 years. Martin, have you done any more of them or just the one?
Yes, so just that one, Claudio, but I do have a paid app on my phone that I use. So I've just print screened just now, so I'm going to take those coordinates again and place them into my mobile app. The mobile app I use on my phone is called Astrocharts Pro. I'm on Android.
Okay. Does that have everything we need?
Yes, I believe it will do. Yes, I'm actually. I'll pop it in right now and see if it comes up.
Okay, perfect. And just to go back in the chat, so I didn't look. What we experience as time is really the shifting of realities. Every reality has to already exist for us to move into it. Exactly. Excellent. Thank you, Marion. You got a question?
You said something now that's just struck me. You said every age or reality has to already exist for us to be able to move into it. And that's what I kind of alluded to earlier. It already exists, but without our participation, with our chart, it can't happen, right?
Right. Based on our actions in the past, a test is already here for you to bump into. Is actually what Carlos was saying. I think it's the same thing you said too, right? But depending, you can miss that bump depending on the amplitude that you've attenuated with love and understanding, right?
And this goes back to Ken Wheeler's comment about us. The reality we see is we're 1 second or 1 millisecond behind or in front of, is it behind or in front of what is actually the reel's running, and we're seeing it just in a slight delay. So it's already existing, but we just, you know what I'm driving at.
I get it. Yep.
The quantum field.
It's you know what, the more and more you get to know it, and the more and more you see guidance from spirits, man, it's so invigorating. Like Kathy's an odd too. I mean, you know, this Grackle, the way he does it, and the way he looks up.
I know. It's kind of like, you know, the hamster on the wheel. It's like the hamster is running. We're running on the wheel, and we stop, and we have a little setback, but we just keep going, don't we? Because it's fun.
Yes, it
is.
It's
much more fun. It's more fun to run.
Right. When you grasp that, when you grasp that you are infinite, you are from pure love, you're tethered to pure love, and now enjoy the ride and enjoy the spiritual signs. It's just, it's invigorating. Like Martin said, I can't get enough. It's just a passion.
I can get enough sometimes.
Okay, who wants to pull up a calculator? I need a volunteer. I can't see everybody's hands, so somebody volunteer who's got a calculator.
Calculator. Well, I got a calculator.
Benjamin? Okay, Benjamin. I want you to enter 203,813 and divide that by 558.
Okay, 365.25.
Okay, do a few, do 4 decimal places.
0.2562.
0.2562. Okay, who's near a computer that has Google? Okay, hang on, I'm gonna write down 365.25. I think it's 6272. Yeah, 6272. Okay. Look up how many days in a sidereal year. If you got Wikipedia, it might be better because they'll show you there's a bunch of different theories on what the sidereal year is.
I've got 365.242.
Is one of them. Oh, wait, hang on a second. I want to get this down. So
365.242, 365.256.
3665.256. Yeah.
365.242 and 365.256 is what Wikipedia is showing me.
Okay, there's other ones out there too, because they're trying to, what they're using is, right, I don't need to get into detail. You just took 203,813 Julian days and divided it by 558, and that gave you the exact sidereal year. Exact. This is the truth now. So if we want to line up stellarium, or we want to line up anything, it's got to be this, or else there's going to be error over. People start going back 30,000 BC. You can't, unless you're using the right sidereal day, because 4 decimal place, you know, that one is off by a lot, 0.24. I'm not sure what stellarium uses. They probably use the 0.256, which would be awesome. We're going to get into another time, but if you take now that 558 and the 203,813, you'll get the Saros cycle. The Saros cycle is how often do the north and south nodes traverse among the stars. In other words, anything that goes from, we'll just say 0 point Aries. Well, let's say spike it, because you can find that anytime. The time it takes to go all the way around once, it's called a sidereal rotation or sidereal cycle. So the sidereal cycle for the north and south nodes is 18.6 years. What's 18.6 times 30? Benjamin?
558, yeah.
558.
Sorry.
Now, if you go look at the Saros cycle, you don't have to. If you go look at the Saros cycle, they're going to be all around the predictions are going to be all around that. She sets the clock. She sets the clock. When she goes retrograde, the River Nile floods. She causes phoenix risings. It's a beautiful thing. She also links to the Metonic cycle. That one's a little more involved, but it's simple. We won't get into it. So the Metonic cycle, the Saros cycle, the sidereal year, all comes together in a beautiful, beautiful, perfect, harmonic, musical timing, perfection. There's no guesswork. When you forget about the Holy Grail, why do you think they were looking for her in the sky? Because they knew, Mama's coming up the sidewalk. We're going to get our ass kicked. The 7 scorpions of Isis. We're going to go through a cleanse. Because during the Piscean age, we lose our way. And we vibrate the waters in our body, not the way it should be. And hence, it's got to be cleansed out. Okay. Here's another one you don't have to do right now, but look into the mirror and notice the black in the middle of your eyes. That's where true love is. You're not your body. You're not that which dies. This is just a vessel for our experience. Okay, this is what we can't do now, but look up at the sky and make a point seeing where the stars are in reference to anything, a tree or rooftop. So just like you did if you're doing it with the sun, please do that. It's important, because when you start doing this and notice things where they're at, you are tuning in your vibration. Make a point of doing it. Allow it in. You don't have to. It just excites me because I know it's good. It's good for everybody. People meditate. That's okay. But look where the stars are. Look what the moon's at. Look where the sun's at. So do that for a star, because I want you to get the sense of feeling on how the stars move across the sky. So if you pick, there's a bright star, and there it is by this tree over here. Come out an hour or two later and look for that star and see how much it's moved. And then you can go on your app and you can watch that same star move. I mean, when you go out there, you're gonna see a shooting star or something saying, "Hey, we're here." And now, if you're interested in doing your own medical astrology, jot down dates and times you have out of the ordinary situations, especially if they repeat. I just burned my fingers again. This is Chiron, the wounded healer. You'll find that when you're trying to learn medical astrology, Chiron gets involved because you're learning. So I burned my fingers again. I immediately go grab my cannabis oil. It heals, burns instantly. Instantly. I went to go turn off the lid of where I had the cannabis oil in, and I felt my skin rip underneath it. I go, oh shit, this ain't gonna work this time. See how red it was? It wasn't puffing up yet because I already put the oil on it right away. But I put it on 2-3 times, and even before I went to bed. Hope there's no oil marks on the sheets. God, they're gonna give it to me.
Mhm.
Nothing. I got nothing. Nothing. Zero. That should have blistered. Could have went to the hospital, got it wrapped. Cannabis oil. The magic. There's a reason why it's called Mary Jane. And there's a reason why it's being legalized now. Because us, as a whole, learning medical astrology, it's all going to be about healing and vibrations. Questions?
Claudio, so I place the coordinates into my app. I have the sun at 0 degrees 24 minutes Aries. I have Eris 0 degrees 24 minutes Aries. The north node is 9 degrees 53 minutes Aries.
Okay, let me pull that up.
15th of April 2023, 7:25 a.m. It's a Saturday. Queenstown, New Zealand, GMT 12.
Hang on.
Sidereal Lahiri and equal house system.
Okay. Yep, that's what I have here. Can you see it?
9 degrees 53.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, yeah, it's correct here as well.
And then I know I shared this before, but I'll throw it up here right now. These are the other dates. So you can see the times on here.
So are these previous Phoenix risings?
Right. And you know how they're saying it's the 6th sun? It's the 5th. King Tutankhamun. The King Tutankhamun is Horus during a Phoenix rising. There wasn't a real King Tut. No. All that is just beautiful messages of our journey. The mummies that are there, that's after when people started misinterpreting. They're thinking, oh no, mummify me. I want to come back. I don't want to die. That's unenlightened, Christ conscious people thinking. So I know Martin will. I hope the rest of you do, but try to put these dates in. Anybody else get the app yet? Are you still looking for? If you haven't, that's fine. It's all good. You can just be along for the ride. Doesn't matter. But if somebody has it and wants to say they have it, it's all good.
Jonathan?
Yeah, it's the let me pull out my phone. Let's see here. So
Andy bought the upgrades, Claudio.
What's that?
Andy bought the upgrades.
Oh
yeah, this is Time Nomad, correct?
This one on the screen right now, no, that's Astro Gold.
The first day that you presented, I bought Time Nomad and then entered an account. So, and I bought the extra
Perfect. Awesome.
planet stuff. You said, yeah,
That's awesome. Hey, two, 3, 4, 5 of us, perfect. Because what I'd like to do in the next ones, we're going to have breakout rooms and little exercises, make them fun. And people that don't have the apps will just watch and observe. And I'll just make sure that whoever has an app will be inside that group and just have some fun. We want to make this fun. We really do. Bust out into a game of poker or something. I don't know, whatever.
Claudio, have you cross-referenced what we can do with history? Around these dates and kind of confirmed like what if anything's recorded as to anything that was happening at the time. As much as we can go.
Let me try to understand your question. Like this, we talked about this. The Sphinx, as you can see, is sitting on the meridian of Alexandria. That's why they had meridians.
We know they changed the Bibles after everyone, didn't they?
Right. Now you can see that it's lined up. Well, I did these manual. I found the Sphinx on Meridian Alexandria lining up with this after. I didn't know. In 349, it lines up the Phoenix rising exactly on the meridian of Alexandria, but it's in the water. That's why they had to build it. They built it over here in Egypt. But the Phoenix rising was on the other side. And if you look, 12 degrees in, 9 degrees in, 6 degrees in, 3 degrees in, and then 0 for this one. She's doing a loop here. She's doing like Venus. She's doing a little loop. She's doing 5-petal star. I'm not sure because it's a long process to do this. It might take half an hour each one. I just didn't want to do them anymore because there was no need for me at the time. But once we get somebody that knows how to run some software and bolt these out, we're going to watch your patterns. And now out comes all the history. Did anybody see the little video I put out late last night? Couple minute video. The full moon that's happening on the 16th aligns up with the eye of the Sahara. If you look at this purple line, there's an eye test here because I just got all the information and I pull it off when I do presentations, but I just came here ad hoc. This is when you're using the Gregorian calendar, what happened in 2024. Here's the real line. Passes through the eye of the Sahara. The full moon is going to happen for the eye of Sahara on the 16th. 1 year before the Phoenix rising, the full moon is going to be on the same line. There's stuff about the Easter and the moon when the moon is somewhere. I still have to decipher that, but I know it's exactly it. The full moon 1 year before, not 1 week before, not 1 month before, 1 year before is showing the face of the Phoenix rising. It lines up with the eye of the Sahara. And I don't know if anybody of you has studied Pluto or Plotinus, Plato or Plotinus, one of them, it just escapes me right now, talked about and described Atlantis. And scholars are figuring out that he's describing the eye of the Sahara. They leave a mark in the lands. So this is either one full circle of the great year or a half circle of the great year. This is beautiful stuff, man.
What do you have the great year down as?
550. It's got to be. It has to be. There's no other. There can't be any other way. 558 times 48. It's 48
Okay.
Phoenix risings. 4 of them make an age. Everything else is based on theory.
48.
558 times.
26,784.
Right. The great year is based on 72 times 360 right now. That's a guess.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of fluctuates between 24,000 years and 25,910. So this is, so if I divide this by 12, this will show us how many times we're in,
Exactly.
how many years we're in an age.
Yeah. So,
So
558 times 4. Or the whole age by 12, same thing.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, that's what I just did, yeah, so 558 times 4. 2,232, which
Right.
is slightly more than the 2160 that is
Right.
claimed. So the Hindu Kali Yuga cycles, Claudio, do they line up with the sidereal year?
I haven't looked into it. My focus now is not to try to figure out where everyone else, if they're on there or not. It is important, but right now my focus is on learning what's on the Egyptian walls, because everybody stemmed from there.
Yeah.
But if somebody is familiar with that and wants to do a deep dive and share, please do. God bless. Because there's going to be a keys in every generation left a key. We know that. Any other questions?
So we may get into this a bit later on in the course, Claudio, but do you have like clear direction or guidance as to how and what we can do to prepare for such event?
Just weighing the heart, brother. It's on the Egyptian walls. It's all about weighing of the heart. It's what we're doing every single day to be pure love. Every single day to plant seeds, sowing the seeds of love, as Tears for Fears said, right? That's what it's all about. I mean, I honor every insect that comes in my presence. I'm going to leave it at that. It's not an easy task for some people to get to that mind state, but it really is important. RV, mosquito just came by. By the way, he was very timely today for something. They eat honey, by the way. If you want to get bit by the mosquito, put a little bit of honey out, and they'll leave when it's time. That little needle there is probably little flowers that they can get the honey. But anyway, this motorhome was full of ants. Took me a while to carry them out one at a time. But they did. I just kept feeding them outside because they're hungry. But the signs they give me are incredible now. They would come during a meeting. Oh, it wasn't a mosquito. It's little tiny moths. They call them drain flies. Every one of them has a spiritual meaning. And when you love that, watch your world change. I would have called myself a nut bar 10 years ago. But the divine timing that comes with it is incredible. That's the type of things we need to focus on. Of course, Mimsy's got to always come in when we start talking deep spirituality. There she is. Mimsy's here. Hi, Mimsy. So to prepare, just love, man. Love. There's a reason why people all say, hey, man, can you do my chart? I want to pay you something. No. No. I know I'll always be taken care of. They threw curveballs at me, lots of them. Bank account was empty. Now it's like there's always, and then it was always being spoon fed, always had the right, always had something there. You got to trust in the love, trust in the Holy Grail. So the preparation is, hey, the more you study, the more you love, the more you share.
True, Claudio, it's the trust. The more you study, the more you know, the more you can trust. And that's where the love, where it's easy then to love, right?
Yeah.
Because you're calm, you're centered, because you trust, because you know. It all comes together.
Yes.
Yeah.
The more and more you pay attention to everything that's in your sights, the more and more you know you're being guided, the more and more it gets invigorating, the more and more it starts going like this. And it's beautiful. You know, they sang about it in the 70s that this is all going to happen. It was just the bump in the road to remind us that it's coming, and now it's here.
Do you get into the raising of the chrism, Claudio, and raising through the chakra system and purifying the body that way, using that physiological cycle that, say, the magnum opus or the perennial philosophy or the philosopher's stone kind of teaches us?
So what makes sense to me after reading and just things start clicking, right? This is the philosopher's stone.
Yeah.
This is the temple. So raising the chrism, that Christ, it's love. Love is the only thing that will raise the chrism. And you'll see people out there that they spend more time trying to tell you what's not good about somebody else. I'm always going to use positive words. They're always going to tell you what's not good about somebody else and why that guy, this girl. It's like, can't do that. It's got to be love. You got to love everyone. You got to give great gratitude for them being you're saying you're standing on the shoulders of greats. I say it all the time. The shoulders of greats, Santos, Ken Wheeler, Matt Jerome. People are going to think, Matt Jerome, well, come on. It's like, no. You know the amount of keys that man holds and has let out? Don't look at the personality. Don't judge the book by the cover. Every one of us, as the Celestine prophecy will let you know, every one of us is here in everyone's life for a reason. And we got to give great gratitude for that. So the only way to raise the chrism is with love. Because one thing I can tell you right now, everything that you do is placebo. Oh, I ate that thing and my stomach hurts. No, you chose that because you had to have that something to tell you that that's what the amplitude is. It was in your chart. It would have happened anyway, whether you ate it or not. And I know that because me, somebody else I know really dear, and somebody else, we're at the potential of having something happen this weekend in our charts. So I started on a fast, slowly going to it. I'll probably get to a water fast till the 17th, at least the 17th, get through the 16th. But next year, our charts line up with the Phoenix Rising event. Remember, Jesus died on the cross. What it was a whole bunch of Christ conscious people, a whole bunch of astrologers knew that during a Phoenix Rising, people are going to pass out for 3 days. They went back and look at what, oh my God, he's alive again. That got misconstrued as he died and he came back. Well, because back then, or whenever, they didn't know if the heart's beating or whatever. Yeah, and then you pass out and you come back. So that's all it was, Christ conscious people, astrologers knowing that this will happen. And then they rise from the dead. Well, yeah, okay, they went to have that little meeting with the infant prince, the mother holding the baby. That's a timeout. They're having a talk with you in spirit land. Are you ready to continue on? Or you want to try again? That's the power and the beauty that we have as goddesses and gods. We're infinite.
I would recommend Claudio to maybe start the fast on the new moon after rather than the full moon. So you get the waxing energy rather than the waning.
I do that. That's my practice. But if I pass over 3 days, I don't want anything in my belly because I told my wife, you're just going to leave me here. I'm not going anywhere. Nobody's going to be able to do anything for me because everything's placebo. I just want moisture. Just keep me hydrated. Wet cloths. I don't know if anything's going to happen. Maybe because I'm changing my amplitude. Maybe I'll just get a little bit dizzy. Today I started getting a little bit dizzy. But the whole point is next year might be even more so. I don't know. But I just wanted to have less in my stomach in case I did. So if anybody ever knows anybody that passes out, you'll know. It's the 1 year preversary. The moon is lining up with the Phoenix Rising position with the eye of the Sahara. It's freaking beautiful, man.
So it's generally a good practice to have less in your stomach just in case anyway then.
That was the whole reason. Yeah. So I agree with you though, Martin. I do that. Exactly that. By the way, and I'll go through examples of it because I haven't written down. I bit my lip starting just before Christmas, and that's when I had the timeout, and I had an experience on December 24th, and I thought I could have exited, but I knew I was supposed to quit drinking. I was going to quit drinking on January the 11th when Eris went direct. You know, the true, but no, they told me that night I'm going to quit drinking, so I did. But every other full moon, I'd bite my lip, and the moon in my Cancer, so I'd get a canker every other full moon. And what started is me biting it. And that would happen with my moon in Cancer. My natal moon's in Cancer. If it was tropical, because canker, this is part of your digestive system. If I'd have used tropical, wouldn't have found it. So there's a lot of examples, and the guidance is incredible. And now friends are doing this, and they don't understand why. And I can only go so far with them because they're just slowly getting to realize and understand. Sorry, go ahead, Marianne.
I was just going to say what you're saying. The point of all of this is that once you understand that this is written in the stars, that's the key, really, isn't it? That's what allows you to let go and allow everything to be.
Yep.
And only then are you capable, really, of lightening your heart and allowing whatever comes into your life, you know, to be. And that's true love, right?
allowing
the
it to be, allowing it to be. But if there's something that's not lovable,
Oh yeah,
then that
either
needs to
way.
be fixed, right? That's us having to fix
Yeah.
it. That's
the point.
that's not the easy part for people. They go, that's no. That's them. That's not me. No. They're there for you. If you avoid that person, another one will come.
Claudio, I hate to bring this up. I mean, I'm just,
Oh,
a
please do. No,
newbie.
yeah, no. Please be honored.
You know, I truly want to get this as far as putting it on the app. And, you know, I've written this down, I don't know how many times. I had it printed out. You know, I'm trying to get to what I'm seeing, what you see on your app.
Okay.
And I have, you know, I'm here on the app doing my settings, you know.
Yep.
Dark theme, no, doesn't mean anything. Planet bodies, 9 hidden, houses.
Hang on. Let me go. App settings. I'll take screen grabs and throw it in the Facebook.
I don't have Facebook. I guess I need to go back to it.
Oh, okay. Because I thought maybe I did post it there. Okay, so planets and bodies. I got them all. All of his.
Just put all. Yeah, I got all of them. Okay.
Got all of them. Yeah. Houses equal
okay,
house.
Equal house.
Yep. You got that?
Sidereal.
Yep.
Lahiri.
Lahiri, yes.
Lahiri. Aspects all.
Yep.
Orbs default.
Yep.
Progression. TSA in lawn.
Yeah, I got that too. Yeah, I don't use that, but not to say it's not
But
valid.
I don't know. I don't think anything else. I mean, I don't see why I'm not getting Zodiac will, tropical and sidereal. That's what it has, but I don't know. But
Okay, so I have yours up right now. Do you have, okay, now see where it says show, the bottom, when you're looking at your chart? It says show left-hand side.
okay, I have the app thing and the plus sign on the top left, and on the bottom, I'm looking for show. Wait, let me see.
Okay, see
Oh
here.
yeah, show.
See show, click on show.
Okay.
Now, you got to click on sidereal there.
Okay, it's on sidereal.
Apply.
Position. Zodiac.
You know what? Because I had it on tropical. Don't ask me how, because I don't have anything on tropical. But that's why it's different, because I had it on tropical.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
Yes. That's really bizarre. Why did that happen? I don't use tropical, so I don't know why that's
I had to ask you. So
Suns
I
and Aries, moons in Cancer. Is that what you got?
okay. Thank God. Thank goodness. Yes.
That's bizarre.
bizarre.
Or maybe I that was meant to happen so I get your heart going.
I was shaking. I was like, what? Yeah.
Sorry, brother. I got no idea why that happened. No idea. That's
No.
pretty comical in a way, but
Oh,
sorry.
Thank you. So
That's
much.
really bizarre, because I don't use tropical, so I don't know why that setting was on. And this little guy's landing
Okay.
in my glasses.
I was tripping out.
You got it now. Okay. It was my fault.
Okay. Thank
My
you.
fault. Anybody else got any questions?
Claudio, I just thought we should maybe welcome Elizabeth to the group. I know that she has been wanting to join on the previous ones, but she she wasn't able to.
Oh,
I
hi,
just want to
Elizabeth.
say, Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Just want to. She may not be there. I just wanted to let her know as well that the 2 recordings from last 2 sessions are now available on YouTube, so I will be able to send those links.
Thank you. I did want to bust in there earlier to say hello, but I got squirreled. Elizabeth, welcome. If you're not there, you'll hear this on the replay. Glad you made it. And hello, I didn't say hello to Beata yet today either. Hi, Beata. Okay. Anybody else got any questions? It's 8:05.
Hello there. Nice to see you all.
Hi, Beata. All right. Motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
All in favor?
No, not quite.
Claudio.
Okay, go ahead.
Objection.
Oh no.
Where do you do the add-ons?
Upper right-hand corner. Upper right-hand corner. See that little dot with the looks like a signal, like a radio.
Okay.
See it? Click on that,
Got it.
and there's add-ons.
Is that one Time Nomad there, Claudio?
Yeah.
It's Time Nomad, yes.
And
So-
so I know you said to get the fixed stars. What other of the additions do you recommend?
Yeah, I mean, I grabbed them all just because I love the guy, and I always been able to reach out to him and show him things that I found that were bugs. So but the ones that I use, the fixed stars, the fixed stars and Get More Planets is the only one really. If you want to get the widgets on the side that pop up, you can do that. I don't use it.
I'm a pretty visual person, so what would you recommend that way? The current chart?
Yeah, the chart Event Explorer, I haven't played much with. The Moon Void, of course, that comes up as alarms. The Synastry I haven't done much with. I can't make heads or tails of that stuff. Progress charts.
Is, like couples or family members.
Right. Yep. So basically, they Get More Planets and the fixed stars. And if you like the current widget chart. Other than that, I don't use any of the other ones. I don't find a need.
So the widget chart will allow you to place the chart on your mobile phone front screen, I believe.
Right. So yeah, it come across. You can get a quick grab, and you can do a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you recommend the cup of coffee or the coffee plus muffin?
I was going to say that.
The coffee plus muffin. Good one. Good one. Benjamin, you good?
I'm great. Thank
Okay.
you.
Good. I'm gonna have to always check now when somebody says there's something not right. I'm gonna have to go check my settings. That was bizarre. That's so awesome. So you keep teaching me stuff, Benjamin. Number one, look north. 2, now check your friggin' app settings. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So thank you.
All righty.
Can't wait to play.
That's all right. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic rest of the week. And let's hope to see you all next Tuesday. Reach out anytime. Reach out anytime. See you, Carlos. See you, Danny, Beata, Elizabeth, Deborah,
Good evening.
Verna, Jonathan, Sammy, Marion, Martin, and Benjamin.
Hey, this reminds me of Romper Room.
Awesome. Take care, everyone. Bye, Mimsy. Forgot Mimsy. Look at Mimsy came back at the camera. You forgot me. Mimsy. Bye, Mimsy.
Say bye. Say bye.
Meow. Meow.
He says bye. Say bye.
All right. Take care, all.
Good man.
Thanks, guys. See you
Ciao,
next
ciao.
Good
time.
night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.